Hello, good morning, friends, and extremely sorry for the delay because there was some issues with the bandwidth of the internet. I hope you all are keeping well, and once again, a very good morning. Today is uh, a very good day and a very bright morning this day, but the cases of corona are going on increasing, and we pray that the situation very soon comes in control and the states are trying their best. And we also hope that the lockdown finishes very soon. Once again, a very good morning to all. And if you have anything to comment or if you would like to write something, you can always put it in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. So the thing that we are going to discuss and together we are going to learn something about is this question that the people are asking a lot these days. And the question is that what if? What if? So, what if I lose my job? What if the company closes down? What if the lockdown does not open up soon and some of my decisions of my life I may not be able to take? What if I lose my job and I do not get my salary? What if my salary is cut down? So these are many of the questions that people all around are asking, and there is a lot of panic. There is a lot of frustration, negativity in the society and in the people. So first of all, let's try to understand that where is this question coming from? Where is this question coming from? What if? The question, what if? In your mind, you could make a guess where this question is coming from. See, any question, any person, when he speaks to us, when we interact with any person, he will ask us something or say something only with a background behind. Always there is a cause to an effect. So even this question, which is the effect, has a cause, has some background, has some pre-thinking, has something going on in the mind, and that is why everyone these days are asking, what if? What if the lockdown does not open? What if the lockdown does not open for the next 4 months, for the next 6 months, or for the next 1 year? And even if the lockdown opens up, even if we have cases reducing, even we have no corona patients, the situation is not going to be the same as before. People are not going to enter into the restaurants as they would before. People are not going to sit next to each other in a cinema hall watching a movie. People are going to go less for foreign trips. People are going to reduce the use of public transport and would rather prefer using their private vehicles. So things are not going to be like before. Things are going to change drastically. Corona is going to change the way we live, the way we interact, the way we deal in our business, in our work. Already we see the changes. Already we are seeing the changes of social distancing, which has come about due to Corona. A lot of the teachings, a lot of the works are gone online. We see a very big rise in the use of Zoom software. Teachers are using it, companies are using it, schools and colleges are using it in order to conduct online classes. So the works are still going on, but now from being offline, they have moved to being online. So Corona is going to bring a lot of change, and this we are going to see. This era is going to be a very rememberable one for this generation, especially for us who have been living in this 21st century. The history of mankind is going to be marked by pre-corona and post-corona. So this is going to be a landmark. This is going to be a, a landmark of time in the timeline of human history. The age before corona and the age post-corona. And we see a lot of webinars going on these days, a lot of webinars and a lot of ads coming up on the WhatsApp and many other social media of webinars, of sessions, of programs being conducted about this corona. the things that are going to happen, the changes that are going to take place once this corona pandemic is over. So, once again, coming back to our question, what if? Many have been asking this question, what if? So, just to enlighten you that this question has a background, and the background is the six human needs. Every human being operates on based on these six human needs. These six human needs could vary from person to person, and depending on the gender, the situation, the culture, the geographical location of a person, the religion, and many other factors that would affect these six human needs. But basically, every human being operates on these six human needs. What are these six human needs? Let's take them one by one. The first need is the need of certainty. Every human being is looking for certainty. Certainty for jobs, certainty in professional life, certainty in personal life. In personal life, he wants to be certain of his life partner. In a professional life, he wants to be certain of his job. He wants to be certain whether he will be getting his salary. So, this need of certainty, every human being has this need of certainty. Let's move on to the second need. The second need is a need of variety. Every person needs variety, a change. If I give you the same dish every day, if I give you dal rice every day to eat, you will get fed up. Even if your favorite dish is served to you daily, morning and night, after few days you will be fed up, you will be irritated, you will be frustrated, and you will need a change. So the human need is of a variety, and we see this need of variety today in all the people who are locked down in the home. That is because of lack of variety. They have to stay in the same place even after the lockdown being declared, even after the rules being made so strict and action being taken. And we see on the news continuously how those who are moving out of the house are being beaten up by the police and action being taken, fine being charged, but still people want to move out of the house. And this is nothing but for because of the need of change. A person wants to move out, he wants to go and meet people, he wants to go and meet different people, he wants to go and move out to different places. So this need of variety is in every human being. This need of variety is in every human being. We all need some change, we all need variety. Even if it is a even if it is a best dish, we would not like to eat it again and again. We would need some change. We would need some change. So the second need is a need of variety. Now let's move on to the third need. The third need is a need of significance. Every human being wants to feel significant, he wants to feel important, he wants to be felt given importance, that I am important, I make a change, I make a difference. So every human being has a need of significance, and therefore in order to fulfill this need, he may try to project himself in a different way. He may try to do something that would grab attention, that would make bring him into the limelight. So this is the third need of every human being. As I said, these needs could vary from person to person. In some person, the need for certainty would be very high, whereas in another person, the need for variety could be very high. While in someone, the need for significance could be very high. So the proportion of the needs of these six needs could vary from person to person, depending on, as I said, on the cultural bringing up of the person, about depending on his family, about depending on his location, his personality, his mindset, attitude. So the needs could differ, and the proportions also could differ. The fourth need, the fourth need of every human being, of every living human being, is the need for love and connection. Every human being wants to be felt loved. Every human being wants the feeling of being connected. And this we very, very, very vividly see and very clearly see in the social media. People would like to post the dish that they have prepared today on Facebook, and they would come back and again to that post to check whether how many likes they have received, how many people have commented, what are the comments. So the need for love and connection. Every person would like to feel important. He would like people to wish him on his birthdays, on his festivals. So the need for love and connection. The need for significance and love for connection is very much connected to each other. Now let's move on to the fifth. So the first four were, first was certainty, then was variety, after that was significance, love and connection, and now the fifth need. The fifth need is the need for growth. Every person wants to move on in life, wants to grow. No person would like to remain at the same place. So if I am an employee, if I'm working at a managerial level, I would want myself, see myself as a senior manager or the head of the department or the general manager, and then later on the vice president, the CEO. So the need for growth, every person wants to grow. So even a poor person, if he has a simple house, he would like a better house. If he is staying in a chawl, he would like to move into an apartment. If he's having a two-wheeler, he would like to have a four-wheeler. A poor person, even if he's having a simple TV, he would like to bring an LED and then move on to a smart TV. So the need for growth. Every person wants to move. The need for growth. No one would like to be stagnant. And therefore, this is the need for growth that is in every human being. And the last need, the last of the six needs of every human being. So if you see the need of a human being, you can categorize all these needs into one of these six needs. And the sixth need is a need to contribute. Every person wants to contribute. So after reaching a stage in life, so if we take the example of Amitabh Bachchan, today he has reached such a stage where he can contribute. If we look at industrialists such as Azim Premji, Ratan Tata, they have reached a state where now they want to give back to the society. And every person has this need. Every person wants to contribute in some way or the other. If not financially, it could be by his time, by sharing his time, by sharing his resources, his talents. And so we see people, those who may not be as great as some of the industrialists in a country, but still they are coming up in a variety of ways to help out people. You can see people coming out on the streets to help out the laborers who are migrating, the laborers who are migrating from one state to another. Recently, while I was traveling from my town to another town, I could see people on the streets with water, giving water, some of them giving food, some of them building tents for the laborers who are migrating from one state to another state. So, dear friends, these are the six needs. Once again, let's revise. First is certainty, second is variety, the third is significance, fourth is love and connection, the fifth is growth, and the last one is to contribute. So these are the six needs. You look at any need, you look even at your own need. Just try to identify, are these six needs in you or not? Now, some may be in a low proportion, while some may be in more proportion. For example, in some, the need for certainty would be very high, and therefore, this also affects the personality. This person would be very perfectionist. He would try to look for perfection in all that he does because he wants to be certain. A person who in whom the need for variety is very high, this person would like to take up professions that would include travel, that would include meeting different people, engaging in different kinds of work. In some, say for example, in a woman, in a particular lady, the importance of significance is very high. She would try to buy the latest outfits in the market, the latest jewelry. She would try to do the latest fashion possible in order to grab attention, because the need of significance in this person is very high, and she wants, or he wants, to draw attention of the other. In some person, the need for love and connection would be very high. Now this person would not be very wooed or very attracted to material needs, but would like simple human touch, would like care, would like affection, would like of words showing care and attention, and not necessarily material gifts. So these are the six needs. Now this question, what if, what if, comes from the need of certainty. Today, people all around are uncertain of the future. They're uncertain whether the company that they are working in, whether would it survive, whether even if it survives, is their job secure. The students are uncertain about their education. And I know many of them are very much happy because many of the exams have been cancelled and the students have been promoted. Even the school students as well as the college students have been promoted. So there would be even an element of joy in the students. No tension of exams, and even some teachers would be happy because of no corrections required. So the question what if is coming from the background, is coming from the mindset, from the attitude, from the deep inner feeling, and the need of certainty. Also, the second aspect, the second background from where this question is coming up is from the fear of suffering. If I do not get a job, if I lose my job, if I lose my job, then how will I take care of my child? How will I take care of my family? How would I do the works that I had planned? So, suffering, the fear of suffering, anticipated suffering, that suffering is going to come. Suffering is in line for me. I can see suffering that is going to come upon me, upon my family, hard times, difficult times, where I have to cut down on my expenses. I'll have to adjust in whatever I have. So this question, what if, as we have already discussed, is coming from these two sources. These two sources. The first sources of the six human needs that we discussed, and primarily from the need of certainty. And secondly, this question, what if, is coming from the fear of suffering, that I'll have to change my lifestyle, I'll have to adjust myself, and then the fear of suffering. Dear friends, so what is the solution? Where do I find the solution for this question, what if? Where do I find the answer? Where is the answer? The answer is in spirituality. I would like to just run you through all the gods in all the religions, and the founders of every religion, the saints in the different religion, have suffered, and they have suffered joyfully. They have suffered with a smile on their face. They have suffered with a smile in their face. How come? How? Let's just see a few examples. I'll give you the example of Zoroaster, who is the founder of Zoroastrianism, that is Parsi religion. So after he received his first revelation at the age of 35, he had no success in his own country, and he had to flee to another place where a prince would shelter him. Utter suffering. In Islam, Prophet Muhammad was born in Arabia, which was full of illiteracy, full of immoral life. And when he receives the revelation, when he receives the voice of God, and he tries to go out to people and correct them and tell them what is the right way, his own tribe was boycotted by the merchants, suffering. At the age of 29, Siddhartha Gautama, he left his palace, and when he goes out, he sees suffering, and he thinks that asceticism is is the way out of this suffering. But after 6 years of aesthetic practices, he realizes that even getting too much aesthetic is not the way out. Again, the trouble, the hardship, the pain of 6 years of rigorous asceticism. Vardhamana Mahavir, who is the founder of Jain religion, he too, he too moves out of his family, and after 12 years of meditation, of going within, of introspecting, he is enlightened. He is enlightened. We also see Rama in Hindu religion, who goes into Vanvas, though he deserves the kingship, but out of an unjust decision of Dhritarashtra, his father, he goes into exile. He goes into exile. But why is he worshipped? Because he is as peaceful when he is into exile, and he is the same peace he carries when he is on the throne. So suffering is inevitable. The different avatars have come on the earth and shown that even God, when he comes in the form of a human being, there is suffering. He has to go through suffering. He has to suffer. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ came on the earth, the Son of God. He came on the earth, but he had to suffer. He had to carry the cross. He had to be scourged, flogged. Again, an unjust decision. Unjust decision. So, suffering not only mental, physical, spiritual, but suffering of all kinds. And he goes on the cross. He goes on the cross with grace. He accepts, he embraces his suffering, he embraces the cross gracefully, joyfully, and willingly. So, my dear friends, this question of what if is coming from the fear of suffering, from the attitude of looking at suffering from a negative perspective, from the attitude of avoiding suffering rather than embracing it. Whereas spirituality, we see in different religions, even the founders of this religion have not had their glorious life. They had to go through suffering and unjust suffering. Even this situation today, the coronavirus, the pandemic, the lockdown, the troubles that we are facing, the lack of finances that we are having today, is in a way unjust. We do not deserve it. We have not caused it. It has come upon us. So, how do I look at this suffering? What is my attitude to this suffering? We can learn from spirituality. Spirituality has the answer for this question of suffering. And my dear friends, taking on to the third aspect of suffering is what is the best thing that I can do in present, at present, what is the best way I can tackle this situation. Many of us are saying that the coronavirus will be down in will be out after 2 months. Some of them are saying that it will be by December at the most. But let's consider that this virus is going to remain for another year or two. Let's be ready for the worst. This is the best policy. Be prepared for the worst. And then, if situations are better, it's a concession. It's a bonus for you and for me. But at present, let's plan things. Let's look at things. Let's be mentally ready and organize things. Going ahead, having the mindset of the worst happening. The worst happens. What if the worst happens? Am I ready? Am I ready? So the best policy is to be ready for the worst. Say supposing the coronavirus is going to end in June next year, 2021. So then what? Am I going to remain at home? Am I going to just keep waiting? Oh, when is the coronavirus going to get over? What are the other ways that I can find out? That will also help us to answer this question of what if. That will also help us to answer this question of what if. And my dear friends, one thing is very certain. One thing is very certain. Even the coronavirus is uncertain, but one thing is very certain. One thing that is definitely going to happen to you and to me, to everyone, all those who are living even at this moment today, at this date, at this time, all the people in the whole world who are living today on this planet Earth, even the child that is born today, 100 years from now, we all are going to be under the ground. Some of them would be burned, some of them would be buried, but none of us are going to be there 100 years from now. So death is certain. Death is certain. So what is to fear? What is to fear? We are not here forever. So what is to fear? What is to fear? This is a part and parcel of life. It's a part and parcel of life. So why to have the fear? Why to have the fear of suffering? Why to have the fear of what if? What if? Let's be ready for what if even the worst happens. Even the worst happens. Let's predict, let's anticipate the worst and make preparations looking at that the worst happens. I'm not saying here that we need to be negative. I recommend that you be positive, but at the same time, every coin has two sides. We also need to be ready for the worst. And my dear friends, I would like to also introduce you, lastly, coming to the end of this discussion on the question of what if that the people all around the world are asking. The problem cycle. The problem cycle. There is a problem. Can you do something? If yes, then why to worry? There is a problem. And you can you do something? No. Then why to worry? Many people today are worried. Many people today are anxious. And this anxiousness is also because of continuously watching the news channels and watching the deaths and the people losing their jobs, the laborers migrating on the streets. Can you do something? If yes, then go out and do. If no, then why to worry? Why to worry? The coronavirus is not in your hands. At the most, you can do is stay at home, keep yourself from getting infected, and also thereby helping others from not getting infected. This is what you can do. This is what you can do. The best that you can do. So, why to worry? And my dear friends, a few one liners for you. Spirituality is the new beauty tip and the best cream that you can apply to your soul. The best cream, the best ointment that you can apply to your soul is prayer. Is prayer. And in the words of Saint Mother Teresa, I would like to appeal to all of you belonging to different religions that if you are a Hindu, be a good Hindu. If you are a Muslim, be a good Muslim. If you are a Christian, be a very good Christian. Go deep, read your scriptures, and always go to the depth because every religious text has two layers, the surface layer and the hidden layer. Introspect, reflect on what you have read, and go deep, dive deep within it. And this will take away the question of what if. This will erase the question of what if from your minds. Spirituality will give you the strength to face this question. Spirituality will give you the strength to face this question of what if. Because faith is bold, it is courageous, it is positive, it is encouraging. I hope you all found this of some use to you. I have tried my best in order to just answer this question of what if that is people are asking all around. So, just to give a glimpse of it, it is arising from the need of certainty and also from the fear of suffering. We have seen the example of the different religious founders, and the answer is in spirituality. And we also need to be ready for the best and remember the problem cycle. If you can do something, then why worry? If you cannot, then why worry? I hope you found this useful. I would also recommend you that we have such a lot of positive stuff and stuff for self growth that is uploaded in the form of small snippets of videos on our channel. So if you'd like to grow personally and also in professional life, come and subscribe to our channel so that you could be notified whenever we come out with such videos. And like our channel also, if you feel this is useful to someone in your family or friend, please share this video with them. Thank you and have a good day. Stay safe and do not be afraid. We are soon going to come out of this pandemic and the world is going to be much better than before. Goodbye.